Hello folks, welcome back to the channel. My name is Joel Duggan and we are back on the Citadel server today playing some Minecraft. We're going to be working on the Spruce River, the landscaping that we started yesterday, kind of picking up where we left off. Seems to be kind of the mode we are operating in, is just kind of like continuing on these multi-stream projects, but this shouldn't take too long. We got a lot done in about an hour yesterday because the first half of the stream was spent doing some organization and some logistic stuff. And I think we should be able to get quite a bit done today, so that should be fun. Actually, to start things off, I went back to the gold farm because we died on stream yesterday. I was AFK in the bee farm and a little zombie hopped into the window and got us, and it got rid of all the levels that we had that I was going to use to like rename shulker boxes and stuff. So I went back to the gold farm and created a macro for my mouse and just was able to AFK there for a while. So that is where we're starting today, but we're going to head back immediately to West Hill. So hope everyone's having a good week so far. It was hotter than Hades yesterday here in Nova Scotia. So I had a really good time messing off for the afternoon. I was going to work and then I was like, you know what? After I finished the stream, it was 30 something degrees in the studio. I could have turned on the AC, but I thought it was too nice. I had a friend in town, so we went out on the Halifax waterfront, and it was just a really nice day to be outside. But I was outside until I went to bed. It was just too hot to be inside and too nice to be inside. So today, however, it's kind of cloudy, a little muggy, so I don't feel bad at all about being inside playing video games. Not that I ever feel bad, because it's a really fun job to have, but like the 80s kid in me says, like, you should go outside and play whenever the sun comes out. Sandy says everyone needs to take a minute to enjoy the summer. 100%. Yeah. And I have the flexibility to do that, which is really, really nice. It's one of the reasons why I'm streaming first thing in the morning now. I know I've mentioned this a couple times this week. I do want to mention it at least once a video so that people do kind of clue in and adjust their schedules or adjust their expectations. We are streaming at 10 a.m. Atlantic. That's 9 a.m. Eastern in the US for the summer, Tuesday to Friday. The Saturday stream is staying at 1 o'clock p.m., which is 12 p.m. Eastern in the US. And that's just because I do some bonus podcast things on Saturday mornings sometimes, and it'd be better not to have to move it back and forth when that happens. Also, I like my Saturday mornings and going to the market and stuff like that. So, but during the week, it's been good. I've been enjoying the Monday, sorry, not Monday, the Tuesday through Friday streams. And it's nice to be done the stream at 1 or thereabout. It gives me the rest of the day to do other things, usually behind the scenes stuff. So I'm hoping to have a little bit more for you in the community. Notice that the schedule that you have on Twitch is old one. That is what I was supposed to do yesterday. Sandy, that is what I was supposed to do yesterday. And then I decided, boo, it's too hot. And I went outside. So that's why the Twitch schedule hasn't changed, because that was on my to-do list yesterday. And I got sidetracked this morning in Minecraft. So anyway, I shall try to fix that. I might even be able to fix that on a break today. But it slipped my mind until just now. But that's why I have mods. Fun mods like Sandy. Oh boy. So we are in the gold farm, and as you can see, instead of 0 levels, I have 42, which is the answer to life, the universe, and everything. So I'm just going to go up here. I think I've left my shulker box up here. Just hold on. Yes. So I want that to go away. I don't need to worry about repairing gear. We're okay. So all I did was stand there with a macro that swung my sword like every other second. And it was enough to kind of sit there and enjoy the spoils. So now we've got more gold to take home with us. I feel like those guys are dropping. Oh, I guess they're just dropping. They're dropping nuggets. Even when... Oh, I wonder if that's a thing. I should just hang out here for a second. I think you only get gold ingots if you're fighting them. If they're just dying on their own, I wonder if they drop nuggets. I'm curious now. I think that might be the case. It might not be completely broken. It might be just super slow and you won't get any levels. But once they see you, you are definitely done. I'm not seeing any nuggets. We took all the nuggets out of the system. But like when this was working, the amount of bad guys that come in here is just crazy. It's so much faster than the Ender. Alright, let's get down here and see if there's any nuggets at all. No swords. So they're dropping nuggets. So I could AFK here and get nuggets, but I'm just not gonna get ingots, nor am I gonna get levels. Well, that's good to know. I thought it was completely broken. Something that is broken though is that we have no coal, so I need to replenish this. If I have some in here, I will do my best. We've only got 2 stacks. I'll leave one of each in here, and I'll put the rest in here. We don't have a bamboo farm down here. We should, because then that would be infinitely fueled. It's on my list of to-dos for my sci-fi area. Yep, double check with the wiki. Ingots and XP doesn't drop unless you kill them, but rotten flesh and nuggets still drop. Oh, cool. So again, not completely broken, but still faster with a macro. Like the macro, I mean, I got to 30 levels in no time. So that part's good. It's funny, you know, I've been trying to adjust my camera here and there, and I think it's because it's so dark today, but for whatever reason, my light's not bouncing around the way that it normally does, and I feel like my shot's really dark. It could just be the angle of my monitor. If my shot feels darker today, then let me know. I'll do my best to adjust it. It could also be because I'm in the nether, and when I'm in the overworld, the monitor is much brighter, and so the monitor might illuminate me more. I kept checking my phone notifications, and yet I'm still late. The only thing I can suggest, Retro Shaggy, is to not rely on Twitch, but instead turn on your notifications for the announcements channel in my Discord. I see that you've got the stone badge, so that means you're in the Discord, or have the ability to be in the Discord. I'm pretty sure I saw you in there. But yeah, if you turn on notifications for the announcements channel in my Discord, then I have a bot, like a streamer bot, puts a notification in that, tags everybody every single time that I go live. All I have to do is hit the live start streaming button on OBS, and StreamerBot does the rest. So I never forget anymore to post it, unless it doesn't work. But most of the time, I remember to have StreamerBot open. StreamerBot opens with the press of the button on my stream deck now too. So. I thought there was something we forgot yesterday, but I don't remember what it was. Oh, no problem, Retro. Yeah. I mean, that goes for everybody that's listening. I mean, Twitch notifications on mobile are not reliable, I don't feel. You will get one. You might not get it at the start of the stream. We've had people come in an hour late, even though they've wanted to be here at the beginning, and they've come in as soon as they got the notification from Twitch, but it was just an hour late getting to them. I do tweet. That's manual. So Twitter and Blue Sky and Instagram stories. But unless you want to put me on some sort of a notification setting there, which I don't imagine you do. I mean, really the only time I tweet anything is new episodes of podcasts and streams going live. I don't even tweet raid thanks anymore. It wasn't worth the hassle. We've been mostly raiding Megabyte lately anyway. Which is which is fantastic. I think it's nice to have a regular raid target. I don't have to think about it too much. Megabyte is pushing for partner these days, so happy to help her out. It's also a really fun stream. Not great if you have little kids on your lap because some adult language, but for those of us that are adults, very fun, and you never know what conversation you're going to walk into when you raid Megabyte. There was a lot of fluff talk yesterday, and you'd have to have been there. You would have to have been there. That's pretty good. All right, so yesterday we were working on the banks. I'm gonna need more slabs, I think. Oh, I remember what I wanted to get. I should have brought more soul soil. That's what I wanted in the nether. Shoot. I knew there was something. $22 Lucas, hello. How's it going? Sorry, 222 Lucas. What is that for a world? I don't know if I quite understand the question, but this is the Citadel server, the private server, and this is my medieval area called West Hill. Been something I've been building for 4.5 years. The server just turned 8 years old. So half the time on this server, more than half the time on the server, I've been building here. And we're getting really close to finishing it, which is fun. Eclipse, hello, welcome in. Just realized I forgot grass and ferns and all the things that I want to actually grow. So yesterday we were able to get a chunk of this done, and you can see the stuff that we worked on the bank there, and you can see the vanilla layout there. So I'm going to pick up where we left off, and I think the first thing I'm going to do is the same thing I did over here, is that I'm going to start just smoothing out the top of this cliff, just to see if I can make it feel a little bit more organic. How far back can we go? We got a little bit of room. Now, do I want to get into doing a cliff here? I might. Yeah, I think at that point we can switch over to stone, which means I should probably go get some of that too. I was making some adjustments to the sound balance and stuff as well yesterday, so let me know if you can hear me just fine and if you can hear me over the stream noises, game sounds, that kind of stuff. I think this should work out okay. It's always weird when you can feel yourself like looking up in your chair when that really doesn't make any difference at all. I have to see how this looks like from a bit of a distance now. A little flat on the top, and we're going to add some stuff in the back. I think we can probably bring it down here. Oops. Sometimes I don't want to wait for the grass to come back. Man, the camera mod is just so handy for building large things and trying to back up and get some perspective. Really wish I had a good use for all the flowers. I thought you could bone meal dirt. I guess you can't. I think I brought the bed with me. I'll put it over closer to the finished side. Or I guess I could bump it down here. Keep looking around the monitor to see what's behind things in game. Wow. I don't know if I've done that. I know what you mean though. Like I feel like that's something that I would do. All right, so this specifically is going to get like a kind of a manicured thing. So we'll just kind of go. And then we'll just come in here with the bone meal. Yeah, a little sharp. I might want to have this stuff be a little bit lower so it feels like it's a little bit more gradual as it gets down lower. Also throw in a bush or two could be helpful. That might actually be good to have in here. Yeah, that kind of covers the bottom a bit. And then we can hit this with a vine. And because this is not supposed to be something like a key part of the build, I've got no problem just blanketing this with the grass that we need, and then up here we can just bone meal again. I'm not being too precious about knocking down other grass bits as well, because it creates a bit more of a pattern. It's more about filling in the background. I'm not even sure where I am in terms of where you can see that from. Oh yeah, just between the trees. Cool. Quick fix. But like you can see how dramatically it drops off, like when you stop it and you've got other stuff in the background. Really interesting. So here is where I think it could be fun to try something different with a tree. I wanted to try this yesterday. Let's go for that tree right there. It's like triple trees. Yeah, this one. Because most of the time when I'm out hiking and I see spruce trees, they're more gray than brown a lot of the time. Trick is going to be able to do this and replace it. I think I can get up there. I just don't want the leaves to fall off. Now, whether or not the spruce leaves will stay, because I've got wood there, I don't know. I might have to come back and actually manually replace the leaves. This also might look terrible, I don't know. No, I think that looks cool. That's a fun little touch. I'll have to see if I can do that again. We'll just pick like a random tree. I like that one in the background. I think it's going to work best if it's not like right on the edge. Just something you can kind of see in the back. Hey, Bally, how's it going? I think I chose the wrong one. Yeah, really subtle. Yeah, I should have done that one. It's alright. You can definitely see it from over here, I'm sure. Yeah, I like it. I think it was this one. guess we'll carefully remove a leaf. Surgically insert the logs. It's probably easier to just go up from the bottom. Really subtle, especially with the sun behind it. But I think that's cool. Right on, Bolly. Glad to have you in the background. Oh, Clips, yeah, I do all kinds of specific terraforming. Probably to the detriment of my time. Probably spend just a little bit too much time doing it. I think the hard part is because I'm over here trying to figure out like what I can actually see from the other side of the river and what's worth putting the time into, you know? You do get a lot of too tall grass with the bone meal, which is nice. Although, sometimes you run out of bone meal. Boss doesn't mind as long as the client plays for the time. Hey, that's how you do it. That's how you work the self-employed. You try to get to a point where you can get paid for doing two things at once, including something that you enjoy. I still have to pinch myself sometimes when I'm, you know, working from home in the summertime. It's like, I've got a bunch of email and admin stuff I have to do, and I go, wait a minute. I've got an iPad Pro. I can absolutely just do my email on the iPad Pro on the balcony, you know, with a cold drink. No one's going to know. No one's going to know. So let's see if we can spot these trees in the sunlight. I mean, they stick out a little bit more, but it's still pretty cool. Like I think that works quite well. I don't really think I finished through here, did I? Doesn't look like it. That should cover up most of that hill. Do you like leaving some parts as dirt. That works. Might want to put a little bit of grass in front of this tree. Yeah. Whoops. How is your journey into learning how to code going? I have not really had much time. I've not had much time, unfortunately. I've been talking with MindTripMedia and a couple of other people in the AI channel in my Discord. And I think I'm going to give Google, is it Gemini Studio? What's it called? AI Studio? It's Google something Studio is the thing I'm going to take a look at, I think. Yeah, Google's AI Studio, I think it's what it's called. So I'm going to take a look at that and see if I can come up with something. I don't know what to build. That's the issue that I have is that I don't necessarily know what to build. I started off thinking that it would be cool to build something for tracking my workouts just as like a project. But then I also just wasn't sure about it, and I haven't actually pulled the trigger, and it seemed to be more complicated than I wanted it to be. And I think the problem is that trying to connect all the different services and stuff just seems to be an issue. I also haven't committed to any one model. I haven't like purchased anything. I'm not on any paid plans for any of the AI models that are out there. Ooh, maybe we want to go push here. Yeah. think that works. Whoops. I think my main thing is just trying to figure out what coding language I want to learn. I was talking with my friend James. I see a lot about Python, especially when it comes to AI, but like he seemed to really have some, I mean, he's someone that knows how to code, and he's had some opinions about Python that I think as a beginner I wouldn't enjoy. Whereas JavaScript has a little bit more of a clear-cut structure. I mean, let me know, Bally, if you think that that's off base. But need more grass. I wonder if Mojang is ever going to do anything about the squids beaching themselves. I think it's weird that squids are in rivers anyway. I think squids should just be ocean. It really feels strange to have squid swimming around in rivers. We are probably due for an inventory dump anyway. Any bets on how many stacks of flowers we're going to have by the end of this? Or ink sacks for that matter? Personally, I think Python is a good option for somebody who is starting with coding, but been working in IT for over 20 years, so it's hard to get into. Yeah, I have the same issue sometimes. Like when I was giving like art instructions or telling people, like beginners, like where to start, it's really tough because I've got a lifetime plus 20 years experience professionally working as an artist, and I just, you know, dialing it back and talking about like the basics and all that kind of stuff is difficult. Beginner mindset, yeah. Well, I think the thing that to do too is like I don't necessarily want to code everything from scratch. Like I want to understand enough about code that I can use tools like AI Studio or ChatGPT to code something. And even it might not even need to be a full coded program. Like I might be able to just hook up a couple of services. I like that all the bees are flying around here in the mornings. It's really cute. I want to just be able to hook up a few services. Like I believe this is, you know, rehashing an old conversation, but I believe I had Apple Shortcuts, Google Worksheets, and I think that's all I needed in order to get my personal workout tracker app to be able to read the notes that I put in my note file, turn that into a spreadsheet of weights and reps and dates and stuff, and then use a large language model to like parse that and then spit it out into a spreadsheet that I can pull data from, like, you know, what's your latest PR and how many times did you do this in a month and like that kind of stuff. I just think it would be kind of cool to be able to ask your AI assistant, hey, like, what, how many times have I hit chest in the last month? And it could just be like, you've done, you know, there were 12 days in the last month that you had chest workouts. Like, cool. I think 12 is a lot. It was probably more like 4 to 6. But, you know, like that kind of information would be just cool to have. I should probably get some slabs written there as well. I think one of the more annoying things when you're doing this kind of landscaping is constantly switching the tools that you need, because your inventory keeps on switching out the tool for a block. I find that to be a real pain. Roommate is working on something similar for his schedule in our living room. That's cool. Like having a schedule where you can ask the AI like what's coming up in my schedule, that kind of thing. So there's a empty spot at the top. I just missed some bone meal, I guess. So it's obviously hard to put greenery to cover the dirt side when it's a rock, but what we can do here to keep it green, especially because it's got some depth to it, is just add a bush. Nice. It does give you a lot of too tall grass. I wonder if that's a taiga thing. I remember when I first started this project, I would not be using the camera that much. I'd be doing a lot of flying and a lot of like back and forth with the elytra. But I feel like this is just a lot simpler. Right behind me here, I guess. Better? Nice. Time to move the bed. So I guess here we can just maybe do some stuff along the shore. This could be a good spot to maybe throw in a little bit of the reeds. Looks like I did azalea. Did I not bring the sugarcane? I didn't bring the sugarcane. All right. That's what I need. I need sugarcane and string. That's the string. I just don't think I have any sugarcane out here. Has its own screen off to the side that shows his schedule, current new updates or whatever. He's trying to get an AI to read the weather forecast and plan for future outings. That's cool. That's a fun little project. I really hope we can get to a point where, you know, I know it's a little bit far-fetched, but like the idea of some sort of like Iron Man Jarvis. I mean, you can sort of do that now. I don't find when I'm using either Apple or Alexa, I find Alexa incredibly inconsistent. Like I've got stuff that it's hooked up to my living room, and for the longest time I was able to say, you know, computer on screen, and my Xbox would turn on, my TV would turn on, my LEDs in my living room would turn on, and it was awesome. And then just somehow along the way, it just forgot how to do it. It just stopped. And I have yet to fix it. Yo, those street paths are awesome. Thanks very much. Appreciate that. The little turtle duckling. That's a fun username. Welcome in. How'd you find the stream? And thank you, Sandy. Yes. I know we just said hello to a new person, but I need to take a break. I'll wait until Duckling chimes in. But thank you for the kind words. It's been like 4.5 years working on this area. It looks weird from above because it has like cutoffs, but when you're inside the valley, everything feels pretty seamless. Came up on the dashboard. Also watch Fwip and enjoy Minecraft building vids. Oh, cool. Fwip's a buddy of mine. He's been on the Spawn Chunks podcast with me a couple times. Kind enough to fill in for Pixel Revs. So yeah, if you haven't clocked in Duckling, I do the Spawn Chunks with Pixel Revs. That's probably how most people know me. Although it's really cool. We've getting a lot of people lately that have just found the stream just natively on Twitch. And I wouldn't put Twitch as like a really high discovery app. YouTube is where I think people find more content that way through recommended feeds and stuff. But I'm happy that Twitch is pushing it. So anyway, I need to take a short break. I need to reheat my coffee. I need to get a stretch. You should grab a friend, grab a snack. I'll be back in like 5 minutes. How'd everyone else find Joel? Spawn Chunks. Citadel Cafe podcast. Looking for a Star Wars podcast. That's cool. Yeah, I guess I should mention that too. The Citadel Cafe is the other podcast I do. It's dropped down to about once a month now, but I'd rather do a quality show once a month rather than try to push out mediocre shows once a week. You know what I mean? The Southern Ma'am, Spawn Chunks as well. Very cool. That's a royalty-free track, Retro. It's from the Harris Heller library of things. Have you always done an early summer schedule? No. Last summer, I did a short summer schedule. Last summer, I kept my streams to 2 hours. It was 1 to 3. And the idea was just to focus on getting outside while the sun was still up and getting to the gym ahead of the rush. I walk to the gym, and it's about a 35-minute walk. It's part of my workout. So an hour and 10 minutes of my workout is walking, because it's like that's both ways. And then I work out for an hour. So by the time you add in like a trip to the grocery store, a little bit of time in the change room, that kind of stuff, like you're looking at the better part of 3 hours. And so if I was leaving at 4 or 5, I wasn't home until 8, and I was eating late. So, and I was starving. So I was trying to leave last summer around 3:30 at the latest, which got me home around 6:30, which was much better for barbecuing and all that kind of stuff. So, oh, I need a bucket. For me, it was just better that way. But this year, I've just been finding it warm in the studio, and I found that I've been waking up early. So I thought, well, rather than trying to, and when you have something to do at 1, your morning, you kind of have like a limitation on what you can get done. So for me, I can now finish my like live part of my day at 1 o'clock, and then I've got the entire rest of the afternoon. I mean, I can go straight to the gym if I want to. All right, if I'm gonna go, I'm not gonna mimic this, but I'm gonna maybe put like a peppering of something on the other side. Maybe over there. We'll just do a couple of these and see what it looks like. Looks like I had some stuff up top too. Whoops. I feel like one of these is going to be short. Maybe this one. I keep on expecting the sugarcane to make the bamboo noise, because my bamboo has got a 3D, like my sugarcane's got a 3D texture on it, and it does not. Hopefully that's not too distracting. No, I think that's okay. I think I'll put one more small bit of sugarcane over here. Maybe I should try to grow this one up too. Kitsuro, hot take, but I don't think that the copper golem is going to revolutionize item sorting, but it'll revolutionize convenience. I think you're right that it's not going to revolutionize item sorting, but I think it's going to provide another tool for players to create content around. Like, it creates gameplay, right? Like, that's the thing. I don't know. Did I make that too tall, too dense? I think it looks okay. Maybe this front one should be short now. You wish vanilla had squirrels? I think it would be even just squirrel sounds. Yeah, I think that's better. I'll go with that. Yep, I think that's okay. Like, we've got some sun rays hitting the sugarcane. It's kind of fun. Oops. Try something else. Man, I really wish that we could move on from the weird way that Electra floats in water. Yeah, the copper golem is not meant to replace hoppers and filters. The copper golem is meant to add some filters that are either kind of a pain to do, like enchanted books, or are not possible to do. Like, you can get the copper golem to actually differentiate between a shulker box full of stone and a shulker box full of wood, right? Which you can't do with a regular item sorter at all. So, like I said, there are some strengths, and I think there's specific use cases, but I don't think it's ever meant to be something that replaces sorting systems. I've seen some videos, I haven't watched them, but there's definitely some people out there that have created full copper golem sorting systems. That is definitely out there. I don't think Mojang plans on hitting the, as you put it, Joel, make easy button when it comes to item sorting, but instead try to give us fun ways to do it. 100%. Yeah, I think that's true. I think a really good example of that is that instead of giving you a netherite boat that you can use on lava, you got the Strider, right? And I think that's a good example of the kind of like quote unquote Minecrafty way that Mojang approaches a lot of solutions, whereas a lot of mods that are made by the community tend to just have that make easy button, you know? The kind of things that I would like Mojang to do that leans closer to make easy buttons are inventory updates, like UI updates. Like I feel like there's a lot of unused space here that could be better utilized. I like the idea of being able to lock your tools or having a tool belt here that's separate so that you don't have to worry about what I'm doing today, which is constantly doing this, moving tools around, stuff like that. Like just it's a lot. Endgame Minecraft is very cluttered, and when you want to do the kind of work that I do, you really end up being on the edge of your inventory a lot. And I can feel it. Like I can feel it's not stress, but I can feel the mind share that it has over the course of a 3-hour stream. 100%. I think that's looking pretty good. I need to maybe work in a little bit more dirt along the edge here. Whoops. Sure. So here we have to backtrack and again do some sculpting on the landscape before we start filling it in with grass. It's not too bad. This is actually decent. It's very square. So there's just some places where I'd want to roll it back a bit. So it's a little bit less square. Looks a little bit more natural. Like super simple. I mean, I made it a little bit too straight maybe. We could have it be something that's a little bit wider at the bottom in some places. Yeah. A little bit more of a natural curve to it. And we just have to smooth out the top. Flowers. None of that nonsense. Now, is there anything we could do that could be interesting here with these trees? I already added one of the gray ones in there. Maybe we can do that again. Like, that's a good candidate right there. The happy gas is a Minecrafty way to give us creative building and survival. Yeah, I mean, I think that's a good way to look at it. Oh, that looks great. Yeah. Let's do that. I don't think that one. Maybe the one behind that one. I think one of the leaves might have disappeared by accident. Gotta be fast. Yeah, it's subtle. I like it. To move the bed. I guess we should put it over here. Ooh, I don't know if I like that. I think I might have to put that back in there. Maybe we'll just have a little dip here. Yeah. That's a little bit better. I really don't know what's happening on the side over here, so I think what'll end up happening, we'll probably finish up to here, and then I'll probably skip over and start working on the waterfall, and then figure out what's going to happen in between. I find when you get up to like really key features, it's usually a good idea to do kind of bookends, and then you can kind of figure out what's going to be in between. Yeah, the copper golem is pretty cute, Dab. It has a lot of personality, right? Which you don't get from hoppers and filters and stuff. Unstackable doesn't work for it, right? That I don't know, Katsuro. Well, Katsuro, that's not a problem with the Happy Ghast. That's a design feature of the Happy Ghast. If you want creative flight, play creative, right? Like it's not meant to be a one-to-one. I think my issue with the Happy Ghast, which I haven't really tested much yet because I've only ever taken screenshots in creative mode for thumbnails for the Spawn Chunks podcast, is that I think I'm going to find it very slow. I don't think I'm going to be able to work as quickly as I want to on it. All right. I feel like I need to take a look at some other cliffs that I've done. Get some ideas. Oh, that it's mostly bone meal. There are some ferns over there though. I thought this one turned out quite well too. Yeah, there's almost, I want to say 1/3 ferns maybe. But I think what I'll do is I'm going to try putting in the ferns first. And then maybe we can bone meal around that. Oh, maybe there. Saw the falling leaves out of the corner of my eye. I was like, what is going on? I thought it was a mob. Let's see how this looks in a second. Elliot TC22, welcome in. Thanks for the follow. More bone meal required. Big reveal. Pretty good. You know, not bad. I'd like to work in a couple of bushes in places, but I think we're doing all right. I need to go get some more stuff. I think I have all the things I need. I just need more bone meal. Finally catching a live stream, but listening to the Spawn Chunks podcast for a while now and excited to see what you're working on. Well, thanks very much, Elliot. Welcome in. That's right. The LA can do... No, the LA can't do unstackables, I don't think, right? Or can they? Our family realm hasn't been to the end, so the happy gas has been fun to use to travel over mountains and visit each other. See, that's cool, right? Southern Man, like, I think that's something that people forget when they're thinking about endgame, is that the happy gas does exist between the Nether and Elytra. Like, you can unlock a happy gas really early. Especially now that you can craft saddles. And I'm glad that you found the stream, Elliot. Good to see you. Currently, just so you can kind of get an idea, we are working on the west bank of the river. So right now, we've gone up to about here. I'm currently working in this area. You can see the bald spot. So that's where we're working right now. This is maybe not next, I don't know. But all of this looked like, see if I find another spot. Sort of looked like this. Like it kind of looked, this is the vanilla generation. Is what we're dealing with, is that. And so we're just doing a little bit of sculpting, a little bit of specific placement, but mostly it's bone meal and removing flowers. And there's a couple little key things. I think the thing that makes this kind of stuff believable and doable, so it doesn't take you an eon, is like you do a bunch of bone meal and stuff in areas like this, but then you throw in a custom thing like some reeds, right? Or little dirt patches along the shoreline, stuff like that. Sculpting the rock a little bit. Also, we've been doing this cool thing where I've been replacing some of the spruce trees with pale oak, and it works out pretty well. Really stands out when the sun hits it, which is nice. Xander Wilkes, hello. Is it Wilkes or Wilkies? Welcome in. Missed a flower. The first one, Wilkes. Cool. I mean, chances are I'm going to say Xander anyway. How are you? How'd you find the stream? This is one of the other reasons that I mentioned earlier why I'm streaming earlier in the day. I have found over the last 2 weeks, as I've been doing these 10 a.m. streams, I mean, it's now 11:42 for me, but I started at 10. I have had more new people come into the chat in the last 2 weeks than I think I have had in the last 2 months. Like, it's been a lot, which is awesome. So if you're one of those new people, welcome in. Don't be shy. Say hello. I mean, hey, if you also want to check out the Discord, there's a Patreon page, which is just patreon.com/myname, Joel Duggan. And then there's also Twitch subs that are connected to things like Prime subs or your tier 1. That'll get you access to the Discord as well. Nice. I think there's enough ferns peeking through there. That makes sense. Might want to add 1 or 2 more. Oop, I think maybe you have to flip that. That's better. There's a weird gap right here. And it's just because the 2 bushes are not lining up. So I think here is where we'll actually put in a proper leaf block. Same thing here. Yeah, just enough to cover it up. I like making bushes feel very dense. Best I can, anyway. Here I feel like it's a good opportunity just to have some dirt. At least if it's going to have to be a dirt side, we can make it look purposeful. And you can still grow grass on it, which is nice. That feels a little bit bland. We might have to go with some too tall grass here. Again, we just bad luck with the placement of the grass. It leaves this gap, which is unfortunate. If you do bang Joel's mods in chat, you'll get a link to a spreadsheet that has the list of client-side mods and server-side mods that I use. Most of them are quality of life stuff. Nothing too big. Try not to add too many like building mods. Got a couple of data packs. That's it. Sometimes it's just easier to place the grass yourself. Nice. I don't see any glaring spots. I'm gonna wait for the sun to come back up before I make any changes. A couple spots up there. Maybe could use some bone meal. I've not been quite as precious about this as I have other banks. The problem is if you do it too much, it starts to look too uniform and it starts to look kind of fake. just a quick look. I've done this before on a VOD, but you can always check YouTube as well. But the link in chat is probably the best way to do it. It's that one. I'm feeling pretty good about that. I feel like I might want to add more mangrove somewhere. Like maybe back here. Yep. What's nice about that is that it really helps the ferns and the grass stand out because it puts a like a really dark background behind them. But you can sort of see how that kind of creates a little bit more dark green in there. A little pocket. Maybe we'll put one more up here too. I find the challenging thing with this is that you see a spot from far away, but then when you zoom in, you're like, where was that? Where do I need to put that? Yeah. That helps. I feel like we'd have a little bit more variety over here too. Yeah. As much as I like this, sometimes does not feel like it's working there very well. Cool. I think what I want to try now is maybe working on this cliff. So I'm going to maybe free up my inventory a little bit. What mod loader do I use? Fabric. Well, no, sorry. It's a fabric. I'm not sure. It's a fabric install, but it's a fabric install on the default Minecraft loader. I think fabric has its own loader, but I don't use it. I learned how to do this, and then I didn't really change the way. You know, there might be better ways that have started since then, but I haven't really bothered. All right, what do I not need? Surely there's a lot of dirt kicking around. Haven't really been using the brown concrete much. Almost melted away outside, Sandy. Is that warm where you are? Wow. Does it get that hot in the summertime? So I don't know if we can really see this from down here. No. I don't remember that cow being there. Blast Jordan, hello, hello. Welcome back from your lurk. I feel like this is more of a view from here. Yeah. Right. So the plan here is going to be, I should probably get some scaffolding. Probably going to come in handy. I'm going to replace a lot of that cliff. I'm not sure how much of the shape I'm going to change, but I'm going to replace a lot of the dirt with stone. Starting, I think, at least with here. I may reshape it after, but I find when you're doing this kind of stuff, sometimes it's easy to just go through and replace what's existing. So you kind of like get like a bit of a hint of the Minecraft default. I mean, already that's looking a lot better. Now, how far do I want to bring this? Probably right down to here. Oh, I need more stone. $26 degrees. Yeah, that's pretty warm. It was 30 here on the waterfront yesterday. That's how warm it was here. And normally that's where people go to cool off. And it was not the case. I think I might bring this down. maybe have to take these back. The humidity here today is something like 90%. So yes. Let me just check real quick just for fun. My phone is on its last legs. It's 23 right now, which is not as hot as I thought it would be. But the humidity is 86. Down from this morning's 96. So, yeah, it's a muggy day. Music, free gaming, like that's kind of normal. In the summertime here, like just anything below 70 is surprising. I mean, I'm 2 blocks from the ocean, right? Like I'm very close. Oh, come on. Serves me right for trying to place it while I'm in the water. Yeah, it's pretty good. I might take the top part down a little bit. And I think I'm actually going to replace all of this with andesite, now that I like the shape. I find this is a nice trick to keep your rocks from looking boring. Probably do all of this as andesite. Yeah, so just enough of a difference to make it stand out, right? I really should go get some stairs. I feel like this is going to help a little bit in some spots. Burninator, welcome in. Good to see you. It's always cool to see regulars. I really appreciate the fact that there's some people that are here almost every day. It's pretty cool. So I find one of the things that you can do to really help your rocks is like where you've got these little corners that kind of combine, you can separate them out at all. It's usually quite helpful. I think we'll go with a regular stone. So that does not feel steep enough. But I think what I'll do is I'll probably add rather than subtract. This whole corner is probably going to change. I shouldn't get too precious about it. Right, now here it might be better just to get rid of this. Yeah, that feels a little bit too square. What's going on here? Let's change that. Oh, come on. That's better. I am going to, I think, take the one underneath me.
Here we watch how Joel is placing stone up on stone, totally forgetting to read chat and take a break.
That is true. SweetSandi, thanks very much for the TTS sticker and the break reminder. Appreciate it. Yes, I should take a minute. It's one of those things too that a step away usually helps. We're getting there though. I just feel like this is very similar. I want to have something a little bit more, I think this needs to be more intense. Drop it down farther. So anyway, I take a break once an hour, folks. There's a number of new people here, so this gives you a chance to go grab a drink or a snack, or tell a friend that we're streaming. It is always nice to try and bring in new people, and personal recommendations are great. They go a long way to grow channels, because it's some part of it is discovery, but other parts are definitely nice to just have a friend say, hey, you should like read this book or check out this podcast or check out the streamer. So I'll be back in just a few minutes. All right, time to finish up the cliff. I'm having one of those weeks where everything is happening at once. Got coordinating with friends that are going on vacation, and I've got Amazon deliveries, and I picked up a few things on Amazon Prime days, and where I live in an apartment building, sometimes they just leave things at the front door, which is not great. So I always want to stay on top of that. And I could have sworn that I told Amazon to deliver everything as one package, but it is now delivering things like in separate packages, which is inconvenient to say the least. All right, so I wanted to take this down a notch. Maybe even a little bit further. That's better. It's harder to combine them when they ship from different warehouses. Yeah, that's fair. I think the issue too is just like, I feel that the app is not giving me notifications. I really want the notifications, and I'm not getting them. And I have them all turned on. I double checked. Yeah. So now I'll go up the other side. Probably take this down a little bit too. Find that 1.5 block drop is like just the right amount sometimes. I guess I can go a little bit higher. Now this tree, I could probably make it just look like it's coming out from behind the rock. Keep on hitting F by mistake. That's one feature that they've added in Minecraft in the last few years that I've never found that useful. Like the switching hands or putting stuff into the inventory with the F key. Just never really seems to find a place in my regular rotation. I like the top. Now I just have to figure out this left side. I think I'll just bring that down again. Yep. I think that works. Whoops. Oh, nope. Man, my aim today is just gross. That's better. Here's where we might be able to get away with the stair going the other way. Yeah. All right, so now the top part is just a little bit too even. And we hit the tree. It's good. I just need to have the back part come down. I think this is going to be rock. Park, hello, how's it going? All right, now the scaffolding is in the way. Conveniently scattered everywhere. I think maybe I have to take it all the way down through there. I like the shape. I think I just have to replace these blocks with stone. Yep, I'd say that's good. And now maybe just fix that back part. Overkill, but rubber. Yeah, it's just this one spot right there. I feel like if that's something I can plant something on, probably should. Maybe keep these lower on the edge of the cliff. Yeah, pretty good. I guess I need to fix this tree. Actually, probably the easier way to do it is just that. Maybe we'll take this down too. Man, I keep on hitting all the things I don't want to hit. Come on. All right, that should cover all the things we can see. Yeah, as far as the top goes, I think that looks pretty good. I don't know what's happening with that cliff, so we'll have to figure that out. Could use a couple more bits of grass in here. Yeah. Uh-oh. Keep on hitting some weird hotkey for Windows. I don't mind the dirt here, but I feel like we need to add in a little extra green. Even if it's just the one. Maybe two. Could maybe even put a vine on top of that. It's kind of a fun addition. Unfortunately, they have a very straight top. They don't look the best when they're on the bottom of something. It does feel a little bit bland. I might be able to put like a custom branch or something there. I need to dump my inventory anyway. Right, let's go there. I think we're done with the stone, at least for now. Don't need quite as much of it. Should be okay. Dirt. I'm not quite sure how we're going to handle this cliff, the way that it turns around the edge here. I know what I want to do here, but this curve is going to be interesting. I don't know if we're going to lose the trees. It might be better to try and really carve this back rather than starting it so high. It might be better to bring it down lower. So for example, come in here and start to just go up in kind of like normal increments. Problem, of course, is that it's going to take a bit. And it will most likely involve getting rid of the trees. At least temporarily. But if I start from there and start to work backwards, I feel like we will eventually sort out what the corner is going to do, right? I mean, at some point we probably have to go more vertical. So maybe here we'll go up by 2. And maybe we'll end up with some natural stone generation that we take advantage of. How's that looking? A little bit better than before. I think going up by 2 helps smooth things out a bit. And all of a sudden we're kind of back up here, right? So sort of see how we might be able to blend them together, but also the trees might help allow us to blend things behind the trees easier. For now, I think I'm going to get rid of the stone. And then if we had grass and ferns, oops. Where'd my shears go? I find this always hard to see, but when you back up, it tends to work out. Oops. Now, obviously the dirt has not yet turned into grass, but you get the idea. I may end up keeping the tree. It's a very tall tree. Actually, maybe I'll leave that short. Let's see how we're doing. Not bad. Still keeps it very steep. But even here, I'd want to do the waterfall first before I start really messing around with the details over there. I feel like this is good, though. I feel like this coming down to a point is good. So we'll probably also keep this tree. Yeah, it's hard to see when it rains. The leaves on that tree are not the best. No, I agree. That's the kind of thing where I might turn it into like a custom tree. Yeah, pretty basic. We could bring that down. And that's where some of the leaves could hide what's going on behind it, you know? Speaking of, why don't we give it a shot? So what I would probably do here is take off that layer. One, two. Can I get up there at all? Maybe. Nope. Not easily, anyway. Whoops. A little bit more interesting. There we go. Oops. That. Can't really see, but it's because it's getting dark. It's funny, I start off using paths at the start of the stream, and then by the time I'm done and I'm trying to finish something up, I'm just like, nope, I'm just walking across everything. Game for Love, hello. I'm doing well, thanks very much. How'd you find the stream? And Park, yeah, it's a 4-year-old medieval area. There's I don't know how many VODs on my VOD channel are West Hill related, but I absolutely have 1,100 plus VODs on the channel. I mean, that includes satisfactory VODs and stuff like that. So I don't know how much of that is actually West Hill. I should probably figure that out. That would be kind of a fun thing to gather. That would be a fun project for AI, you know, like go to my Joel Duggan VODs YouTube channel, find all the Citadel VODs, and tell me how many hours I've put into this, you know, like that could be kind of fun. I wanted to grab some of those, and some of those. Yeah. Scrolling. Man, that's gotta be like the 4th or 5th new person today that's just found me on like the Twitch homepage. That's awesome. Thanks for coming by. Where is the zombie? I felt like this tree could use a little something. Maybe we need to do that in a different direction. So it can actually be seen. Although maybe if we go over here. Don't be trampling my stuff, cow. Yeah, it's kind of hard to see. Wonder if we could do something like this. That's a little bit better. Should probably take this. There must be a cave somewhere. I thought I had lit all those up. Where are you? I don't have any torches anyway. Yeah, that works really well. I like that. That adds a little bit of personality to that tree. I feel like we could probably go a little bit farther with that second tier. I'm gonna try to get up there with some scaffolding rather than jumping all over the place. Got some spare spots here. Yeah, it's hard to see on stream. Yeah, I agree. Oops. I wonder if that's too much. Yep. Need to bring that back just a little bit. It's funny, sometimes you don't really think about it, but making square leaves on Minecraft trees is sometimes the best way to do it. Whoops. I do like putting these at the tops of trees. Oh no, we lost a leaf. That looks a little bit better. Thanks for the reminder, Sandy. Appreciate it. I had a little bit of an extra break in there, so I'm going to go just a little bit longer than normal. Don't think I'm going to start to tackle the waterfall just yet. And I kind of wonder, this might be a good opportunity here to have this actually go down. Could look kind of cool. I think I can put these back on top of roots. Oh, not on top of diorite though. Ugh. Shears. Tory's full. Nice. Yeah, that's what I want. Excellent. And then here, where are we going to be seeing this tree from? Mostly here and then down here. So if I put a couple of little branches on the left-hand side, I think they'll stand out just great. Excuse me. Yeah. Simple little detail, but it works. I think I actually want more than one of those. Last one. Ditch some of this stuff. Thanks for the follow, Xander. Appreciate it. All right. Where did I want to put this? On the opposite side, under here. can't quite see with the sun going down behind it. All right, we'll sleep. Die right in the river for authentic bird droppings in the experience. Ugh. The tall tree looks much better with the leaves you added. Oh, thanks. Yeah, I think so too. Sometimes it just takes a couple of things, a couple of accents. I prefer to do Minecraft like natural trees and then add something to them rather than try to make my own tree. I just find I get so picky when I make my own trees that it just ends up being like a time sink. What is that's light no, that's coming in from over there. I was like, why is that reflecting off of? No. Oh, we've lost leaves. The leaves are dying? That's new. I've done that before and they've not died. Hold on. Unless I've lost leaves over here. Oh, you know what? It's probably because those are manually placed. Hold on. That's interesting. I would have thought that that would have been close enough to keep the leaves around. I guess not. Yeah, I mean, that looks to me like a tree that I would see going hiking, you know? I like the lower part there too. I'm just going to add some more grass down there. And maybe some vines. Now some of this could end up being rock later on. Yeah, so I think now that we've got that sort of established, want something like that there. It's a small feature. Have the big waterfall, and then between that tree and this rock, I feel like we could probably take this kind of idea and just like pull it around. It might mean ditching a tree or two, but I think having these trees, if we keep the trees, then it'll help hide the double high dirt in a lot of places. Case in point. So yeah, I think if we come back through here with too high dirt like that, yeah. And once we cover all that with stuff, I think we should be okay. Yep, it should work. My shovel is more powerful than I want it to be. Yeah, I have to trim out a couple things up here, but that should be okay. Yeah, already that's starting to feel a lot better. Nice. Cool. That is where I need to wrap things up for today. I have not checked yet, but if Megabyte's live, then I'm going to send you over to Megabyte. She's doing a partner push, and Megabyte is a fantastic streamer. So we'll be back tomorrow. I might not be doing Minecraft tomorrow. There could be a Lego Let's Chat. I have to wait for Amazon. So we'll figure that out. But yes, there's a new Lego set on the way. And on Fridays, if you're new to the stream, I do Lego live building here on the channel. There are VODs over on Joel Duggan VODs if you're curious what that looks like. It's like a Legos Let Chat. We kind of hang out, chat a little bit while I build some Lego. It usually lasts a few weeks because I just do slow, chill builds every Friday for a couple hours. So you can look forward to that. And then Minecraft again on Saturday at 1 o'clock Atlantic, and that's UTC minus 4 hours, or noon in the Eastern United States, if that's where you are hailing from. And thanks very much for all the new people that came in and hung out today. I really appreciate it. I hope you're having a good day so far, and hopefully we'll see you again. You can follow me on social media at Joel Duggan for updates when I go live, or if you want to join the Discord, check out patreon.com/Joel Duggan. It's only $2 a month. It supports me here on the channel, and then you get access to the Discord and all the cool people that are in there, and notifications when I go live, and all that kind of cool stuff. So thanks again. Cheers to Sandy for the moderation. I really appreciate it. And again, let me just double check that Megabyte is live. I've lost my follower list here. Megabyte is indeed live playing some Minecraft. I think you will enjoy it. Bye for now.